Hello and welcome back to Pathum Thani. It's the second day of the Six Reds World Championship live from Thailand. John Higgins, in terms of getting to the knockout stages of this event, back on the calendar, of course, for the first time since 2019, pre-pandemic. Higgins yesterday, and clearly Higgins is the favourite, but after the home favourite managed to beat Doherty yesterday, Neil, he won't be taking
one or two things. He made a couple of errors yesterday, including an error which led to a foul on the way to a defeat to Hossain.
Yeah, just a reminder, we have 8 groups of 4 players, and the top 2 from each. Then it comes down to frame aggregate, and then results bit of Group C. As mentioned, it's all on this result. Whoever wins will go through with Hossain Vafai, who's already won both of his matches, so he's guaranteed. Foul, or rather snooker, behind a nominated colour. If you do that, then it is a foul, which of course doesn't apply to 1. So Higgins under a bit of pressure. Of course, he was runner-up to Stephen Maguire the last time this tournament was played, back in 2019.
There. Now he's going to try and open the 3 reds. Well, he's played it well.
And Doherty, 2 former world champions, one of the greatest of all time. And
for no graphics, 14-8 the score to Higgins as he. That is the rule for the 6 reds, as Philip explained.
They'll then be warned that if they commit a 5th consecutive foul, then their opponent will have the option of ball in hand. In other words, they can put the cue ball wherever they like. So that is another deviation from the conventional rules.
He's played a good shot, the chance for John Higgins. Well, that's a good shot. First part of the job done, and the second part is well, don't miss it, but you can, and he has missed it. I think he hit it so hard that he checked off the cushion. It's 29 the difference now. Takes me back to the days of events in the 70s when
he reached 5 big finals and was in front at the sharp end of 3 of them, but couldn't quite clinch them, couldn't quite land a trophy. In confidence that came from the near misses last season. He beat Judd Trump to actually, and a real tonic for him with the World Championship round the corner. The blue is surely academic. The yellow proved to be frame ball. So first blood then to John Higgins gets us underway in frame 2. Apologies once again for the lack of graphics. Appears to be the trend for these initial matches.
So attempt number 3 now. This surely is hard enough. That's the problem.
So all things considered, he's done okay there, but he...
What? Yeah, it's tried to hold for the blues. Good shot, that.
Obviously very consistent without winning anything. But maybe he's just beginning to hit form. Lucrative event. Strange to relate that the big guns at the moment, Mark Selby currently occupying the 8th and final qualifying spot for that event. Of course, he would with the World Championship a month away.
About to be over, I think. 37-0 the score in favour of Higgins. He had those 2 penalty fouls to add. Quite well at the Welsh. I was on site at the Welsh. I actually saw his match shot in that match. I thought, hello, he's back. And then Penfay, who we know went on to beat a lot of good players that week. But there were glimpses of his best anyway, which is nice. He's making lots of alterations to him, speaking about it. But if you think back to when he won, the players only allowed his opponents to win a handful of frames all week. So quite what was wrong with that cue that ever needed to be tampered with.
He only lost 4 frames in 4 matches. He whitewashed 2 of his opponents, including Mark's incredible snooker that week from Higgins. The last time he won a ranking event, actually, is 31st.
This has almost been the perfect frame, isn't it, when you think about it, because he snookered Poramin. It's almost the perfect way to get a frame one. 2-0.
Yeah, clears to the pink. A very efficient performance. In this 3rd frame, and it already feels like a must-win frame for the tie, really. 3-0 down in this particular format. You've got less room to manoeuvre with the 6 reds. Hasn't really had a chance so far. He's been on the back foot in both of the frames played to date. Yesterday. That was a long way off pretty much everything that could.
Well, that's a serious blunder that Higgins has made and has given Poramin an opportunity. Oh, goodness me, that was an absolute howler, wasn't it? He didn't even hit the jaws there. I mean, it was a mile away. I don't know if he got a kick or anything like that. But I
think the feeling already this week is that these corner pockets are not playing on the generous side. Oh dear, well, that had to go.
Disappointing, wasn't it? It would have been nice to see this match get more competitive. 26 the difference here, so Higgins is over the line. It's 3-0 against Ken Doherty, 5-2, and that was a sort of an eye-catching result.
For his opponent to steal, but he's not been punished. And now in a very strong position in Poramin Danjirakul. The runner-up the last time this 6 red big invitationals, the Hong Kong Masters and the Champion of Champions. So it'll be interesting to see how O'Sullivan's queuing as Higgins gets underway in this.
Well, he was in a bit. Quite amazing, wasn't it, that match with Hossein Vafari? What's been happening over there? Hossein is a pretty decent player, but that must be a very open game because.
Yeah, I think it was a big deal for Higgins because, as great as he is, and begin to creep in. Have I still got what it takes when the pressure's on, etc.? But very best form with. He's got such a great pedigree at the Crucible that he's always a contender. And clearly still has the hunger. Nothing left to prove in the game. He's won everything that matters. Molded his cue in a bid to find that extra few percent to get him, which he's shown throughout his career. 31 ranking titles, speaks for itself.
So this break goes to 37, which means already Poramin an awful lot longer, quite honestly, the way it's shaping up. This frame.
Drop the red into the pocket from a very acute angle, so he's clearly cueing nicely.
I suppose when you think about it with Higgins, a few reds left clearing up in frames. So, and seeing what it brings. But he's playing all right, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's sort of what John Higgins does, just plays.
Yeah, Eurosport have that disciplines in the game, and clearing up from 50 or 60 behind, it's a unanimous. Huge tournaments in the most pressurised situations. And he's looked extremely sharp to confirming his place in the knockouts. And for Poramin of Thailand, nothing going right for him. He has had a couple of opportunities. An awful lot to do now. 4-0 down. Due course, 3 other matches in progress, of course. 4 tables in use in each session. Match over in the blink of an eye. 6 frames in barely 45 minutes. And Vafai making it 3 wins out of 3 in this shootout champion, of course, this season. 2-1 up on Matt Selt. And Higgins back in early in the...
Well, there was a shock. Played it with right-hand running side. A few pots early on, maybe a frame or two, because he did beat Ken Doherty yesterday. Ken has lost all of his matches. Quite thin, this cutting back angle. Then you've got to hold, and that's what he's.
Well, just when things were looking a little more promising. Side of making that happen. Looking to build on the excellent form he showed at the Championship League in Leicester, 8 in May.
So he'll need up to and including the, as I say, typical John Higgins, the odd error, but just very clinical in what he does, putting in the. It's got to just ensure that he gets on this pink because it's away from its spot, around a couple of cushions, and that is absolutely perfect.
It's had a couple of chances, including just now when he missed the cutback blue, but the pink and John Higgins.